Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. If you're on my time zone, it's a little bright for us right now. Let's see if we can take some of that down a little. It's like, whew, I'll have to just peek in there when I need oracle cards. Okay, we're going to work with this. It's going very, very sunny, but it seems a shame to cut out too much sun. So, welcome everyone. This is my take two because I did this thing. I don't know if maybe I'm just needing to shift this an hour earlier for my own energy or something, but I'm here at the right time now. So, welcome to the Heart's Frontier. This is the weekly collective energy reading from August 6th to August 12th. So, thank you for the welcome back. Get cozy. I'm going to read some cards that I pulled earlier when I came on here by accident. So I'm going to read some cards from that. And then a little bit of energy of, maybe some healing messages for this week. And then I'll get into some individual collective readings. So anyone who's here who has a question, and then I'll jet off to Soul Circle Oracle. So let's tune in. I've been feeling a lot of root energy needing to be worked with or activated for people in this collective. And so that would be a feeling of safety, of stability, of trust in your physical body, feeling like home. And yeah, I pulled these sadness card along with creativity, which feels really, really linked. So in empath energetics right now, we are doing shadow work, shadow art. So people are transmuting and translating what they feel their shadow self is to be on paper. And it's a beautiful process. It's been really enjoyable to watch everyone's different version. It's like my favorite thing is when we come to shadow art show and tell in the empath energetics program. Every time we've come to it, it's taught me more about how people view themselves, and I think about how we can release some of these shadows as well, because there's always a bit of realization that even happens when you make art, right? Like sometimes I will have written a song and I'll go back months later and I'll say, wow, that makes way more sense now than it did when it was being written. I hesitate even to say that I was writing it, because I think a lot of creatives will understand this process of you're taking emotions and you're taking feelings and experiences, and you're allowing them to just become art, and they sort of become art on their own, almost without your conscious thought. So very interesting, this sadness into creativity. I would also say into ideas. The light bulb thing and the eye, it's very much feeling ideas. So it could even not be related to art specifically if you don't consider yourself maybe doing art at this time, but maybe the ideas of what it is that's going to come next in your life, because we also have this growth card. So these are the cards that came out along with two in the previous recording. And let me know if you have questions. Let me know what's going on for you today. I haven't decided to bring Instagram through. I think we're just going to leave it at YouTube for today. And I am feeling in good alignment to do a couple videos this week, maybe about some different subjects. So that's feeling exciting. We have this card that says, when I surrender my will to the care of spirit and the universe, I attune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. And this is an energy that I actually felt really positively for August, is that we are capable and in good alignment to set up habits and to create new goals, and well, to get ourselves into physical alignment as well. So it might be a good time to take on a health quest or challenge for yourself, perhaps setting in a habit, something related to productivity, or what it is you'd like to cultivate next in your life. And sort of saying it's kind of this message of being a clear channel, which really just means not having other distracted or intrusive thoughts interrupting your thought flow, like worries or judgments, or other things that might distract our minds. So I love that one. And the colors of it are really beautiful and very connected to the root chakra as well. root chakra being red. This is also red. It says, my true safety. And again, this is safety in our physical body. So very much a root energy chakra focus. It could also be looking at the way that your family is or was and how that's affecting you now. Could be some ancestral connection work as well. My true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. And it is like a deeper love. It's a deeper sense of love to be able to connect to your own ability to manifest, your own safety in your own body, and being in the present moment. The root chakra is a very active present moment type of energy to be tuning to. So also could be about getting more time to connect with the earth and nature. I'm going to pull a botanical inspirations card for us as well. And then I'm happy to take any questions. I'm also happy to read on any specific situations or continue with this collective energy reading. We have Gloxinia, which is love at first sight and proud spirit. And it says, when I saw you, I fell in love and you smiled because you knew. So there's sort of this, it's like a familiarity or remembrance. And I actually see this with art as well, that you could be running into an art piece that feels familiar to you. I just had this experience recently with sound and with songs of the past that I've been working with, because it's like they feel familiar. They feel like some sense of remembrance because we work on ideas not straight through, but actually here and there over time. And so that we weave in and out for many artists. That's what happens, is you sort of weave in and out of a certain, or maybe a certain aspect of the project even. I would like to bring forth a goddess guidance card. I was also feeling a lot of Athena energy and Aphrodite energy today. So that's what is bringing me to pull this. Whoop. Oh, very nice. And we have different ones coming through the deck. That's great. So you can add in Athena and Aphrodite, and we can also add in Kuan Yin, compassion, which I think also makes a lot of sense. Feels like, what are the things that allow us not to feel safe in our body? And it's experiencing deep and challenging situations, when we're exposed to things that feel harsh or violent or negative. It can be really difficult for us to face reality then and to be in reality because it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe in our nervous system. This Kuan Yin compassion card says, release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So if every single person is, and I believe they are, some part of us, then we have only but to look through eyes of compassion to others, but also towards ourselves, releasing judgments of yourselves and others. It's one and the same, really, if you see things from that perspective. Kuan Yin brings a very gentle and tender touch to hearts and minds that she connects with. So Kuan Yin is a really beautiful energy. We also have Sedna, which is infinite supply, infinite supply. It says, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So here's another aspect of what destabilizes us, has us feeling ungrounded and not connected to our root chakra or to our bodies, is this dysfunction we can feel, or this lack of reality which we can feel, is that the world itself is not inherently abundant and supplying you with what it is you need, because you are alive and sustained at this point. And so how is it that you got to be from, just a babe till now, somehow being sustained and supplied? And you might not feel very well resourced, but certainly a way to build further resources, whether internally or externally, is to believe that you are capable of such, or that it is possible. If it is possible for you to gain everything that you need, and also that you will be supplied those things. So it's not only from your effort, but actually you're going to be given these things. It's some sort of exchange of your effort versus what you receive back. then you could believe that all is possible to be supplied. So you need food on your table and some community member is kind and is able to share extra or provide. You may need love, and then you find that through some other avenue, as long as you're open to love, then it may come in other ways, maybe in three small ways instead of one big act, and that's how you then interpret it. But Sedna gives us this feeling of like the chain, that we are constantly in a giving and receiving, and this is our inherent nature. And so anytime you're getting in the way of that, doubting what you are being supplied or doubting what's possible for yourself, then you're actually interrupting. So that's actually unnatural. So the natural flow is actually that um, more would be able to come through you, into you. And this actually has to do with the creative energy as well, that what is coming through you, you're constantly supplied. So if you are ever feeling like you're someone who is, blocked or stalling in ideas, it's simply not true. There's simply some other avenue that you need to receive some idea or some clarity through. That's how I feel anyway. So a lot about alignment, a lot about creating, and a lot about also transmuting sadness today, and a lot about the root chakra. So it's a few different things to focus on for your week. I would also say I'm doing a lot of ancestral and family heritage, some archival research and things. And so this feels very connected to the root chakra as well, that family lines and the way that your family has been in the past, how perhaps your ancestors were, and what might have traveled down the lines of how people were raised as it follows down the line. I was talking to a man today who had some connection to my great grandfather, which is really special to have just happened to have run into a man who had this connection. And this story that he shared, was of a different time. And he mentioned that to me. He said, and this man, he's in his 70s. He said, it was just a different time back then. And so we let that happen. We let that circumstance go by unscathed. And then he said, so much has changed even in the last 20 years, which of course is interesting because he's talking to me and I'm 31. But, I think it's important for us all to have this acknowledgement of how much has changed in such a short amount of time, and how a lot of us do feel more stable when we recognize different older ways, more silence, when we recognize more hermitage versus more community, depending on what our needs are. I find that really fascinating that this is the way we sort of heal through our understanding of our ancestral lines. I will share this story, the pilgrimage story, because it's a really epic one. It's deepening already, so I'm going to start recording some aspects of it and present it to y'all at some point, maybe in pieces, this pilgrimage journey. But yeah, I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has oracle questions, or if they want me to if you want me to continue reading on any other subject, you let me know. I do think it's a really strong month for setting up new habits. So I will be doing a bunch of different things. I've already started waking up at 5:30 a.m. That's been a new switch in my life. And then also I feel drawn to fasting. And so, yeah, let me know what your question is, or yeah, if you want to share a story, or if you want to ask a question, or if you'd like me to read on a specific thing. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to be doing for August, and a few other things I'm working on in August. Feels very exciting. Just went to a shamanic healing circle yesterday, and I have the rest of my shamanic training the end of this month. And I may be going to a fancy, interesting place as part of this pilgrimage journey in a couple weeks. So I will let y'all know if that happens as well. Okay, update on Court. He said he will try to get rid of me from the cottage as well. This one heating got adjourned, right? So let me know if there's a question involved or in this way. Meeting Darren, the farmer. Ask about last time. Sure. Yeah. And you have the elegance and patience card coming up. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So I do love that we're sort of being reminded that things moved in different timings years ago. And also, I think that everything has its right time. Farmer is out of work. He lost everything due to a fire. Do you see us collaborating in business? Let's see. Let's see. I'm actually feeling drawn to pull a spirit animal card for that, so that seems odd, but we'll go with it. Sometimes I'm like, why that deck though? That doesn't make any sense. And then it's like so obvious the message that comes through. So let's see. Do you see us collaborating in business, or should I just run my ideas with him and not be a partner in business? It says fox spirit and bee spirit. So fox is think on your feet, and the bee is sweet results await, and he's full of brilliant ideas. Yeah. I do see you working with him more so, to be honest. I feel like if you see a fox, or if there's like a fox in like a painting or something like that, I think there's actually going to be like kind of a moment where you run into an actual like fox image, and that's going to be like key to helping you make this decision. Let's see through rose quartz crystal. Anyone else, feel free to ask questions. I'm done the collective energy read for today. It felt kind of like a dense reading. I'm happy to do some other readings about separate questions. And I think there's a big theme of people wanting new habits and adding in new habits for their life to expand. So, okay. Is it in Alexandra's highest and best interest to collaborate in business with this farmer? Nope. Is it in Alexandra's best interest to run ideas by this farmer? Maybe for the short term. For the short term, yes, but for the long term, no. Okay, so for the short term, yes, but not for the long term. And is it wise for Alexandra to have a partner in business? Maybe, but not this farmer. Correct. So perhaps you will have a partner in business, but it won't be this farmer. So this could be simply a trusted advisor. That feels more appropriate. And it feels like this farmer is also someone who is like a mentor in an encouraging way. So like a mentor slash cheerleader. So yeah, that's really nice energy. Mentor slash cheerleader. And yeah, you're going to be looking out for the fox image or fox, fox painting, or maybe just running into a fox or something like that. Not running, not hurting it, but just like crossing paths with a fox. No, fox says think on your feet. So fox means multiple different things. I would say long term, and maybe some details don't need to be shared to this farmer though. So I wouldn't spill everything. Thinking on your feet means thinking quickly and being able to act quickly, and being able to be agile and adaptable and move from circumstance to circumstance, being able to move in quick directions. And sweet results await. I also am seeing that there's like little gear in here, but it actually looks like dice to me. So you can see there's kind of these little gears in here, but I actually saw it as dice. So I see it as like take the gamble and take a risk. If you're taking a gamble, it's like taking a chance or an opportunity. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to keep beating the drum about what I think is happening, but I do think you're going to need to make some quick changes and trust yourself. And so I personally would get packing and making sure that you have like the items that you want in a good container and space for you to see that it's possible for you to shift. And I feel a sense of moving on. So let me know if anyone else has any questions. Any oracle questions? I will just stay on for as long as we need, but there's not tons of people joining today, so how nice. We can just kind of keep it small. It would help to be packed and organized. Yeah, it would. I think so. I think that's on its way. I'm going to pull an Earth Magic card for the collective because I see more people are hopping on. So Earth Magic. Mm-hmm. Looking into Peely Island. Moving on. Yes. I agree. Anyone else, feel free to get your questions in. I'm pulling 2 Earth Magic cards. Yeah, we have Mountain, which is strength. So finding this like much deeper internal strength. We are reading a lot about the root chakra in the weekly collective at the beginning of this message. So mountain and strength could also be about this habits, building habits that actually build up your physical strength. So that's what it feels like in alignment for August. Whatever that might be, it also might be your mental strength. So actual practices you can do that repeat thoughts that you want to be having, or perhaps drinking enough water because that allows your mental focus to be, clearer. We also have Meadow, which is vulnerability. I'm really resonating with this one from my weekend of shamanic healing and accepting a word that came through, which was ancient innocence, and this idea that we are actually, all of us in some way have vulnerable hearts, and it's some bonding that we all share, and something not to dispel, but to actually to see as sacred. It's this shared experience, is human vulnerability and human softness and innocence and openness at our deepest place. So I think that's a really beautiful, we have vulnerability and strength. That's like a meadow mountain. What a beautiful, and it looks almost like it continues into this. So feels like an important message for us this week. Alexandra, do you see it as a place for, it's interesting. I have this like kind of place for me. Do you see it as a place for me? It's far. Far from what? Far from what? Yeah, it's far from where you are now, sure, but not far from itself. Not far from, I mean, I am a difficult person to ask. From your daughter. Okay. So it's far from your daughter. Sure. And she might like to visit there. I don't know. That's such a, it's such a personal thing. This is why it's interesting. I've thought about moving homes and how that really looks different to different people. I've been, I lived more of a life where we didn't have a lot of connection to these external family. And I think I turned out okay. But that being said, I think if you have the option, it is, of course, nice to be and blessed to be near to your grandchildren and to your daughter. You'll feel out what's right, but certainly staying in a chaotic place and where it feels unsafe is not a supportive environment anyway for the daughter or the grandchild, as far as your own energy is concerned. All right. Any further oracle questions coming in? I'm feeling like I might do another collective card read, but let me know. Let me know if there's other oracle questions or curiosities, or if you'd like any type of reading, or if you'd like more stories from me. Jay, just logged in. Can you pick a card related to love and romance? Yes, I can. Okay, Alexandra, think on this. Alexandra asks, is Peely Island a good place for me? So I will ask you, what defines a good place for you? What defines a good place for you? Yep. What defines a good place for you? Oh, I really love this card for you, Jay. I'm also going to pull another and a shamanic healing card, but the easier shamanic healing. Okay, I don't quite understand your response, Alexandra, to the question. The question is, what defines a good place for you? What defines a good place for you? That's my question. Sometimes the oracle also asks questions rather than answers. Okay, so Jay, you have back to what you love, which is reevaluate your desires. Back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. Reevaluate your desires. Meaning, and why I'm chuckling that it's like a good card in my opinion is because I think it's time to make a list. I do feel like that would be in like it would be a wise decision to make a list of what it is your desires are when it comes to love and romance. Knowing what your desires are sometimes holds some people back because they will then get tethered to them, think, oh, I can't have anything else but this. And, then it can be difficult to see people for who they are. For someone, else, they could have the entire opposite experience where once they write down and get clear on what it is they want, they're actually able to see it and identify it and then find that. So I feel like you're in the second category where it's a good idea to actually get clear on what it is you would like in love and romance. We have integration. So this is about integrating your healing and actually making sense of both the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. So it's like a personal healing. So it's reevaluate your desires, which also might be coming back to yourself. This is past, present, and future. 3 birds. Past, present, and future to me feels much more about staying in the present and actually, that's why the integration, it's kind of like coming together with who you are from the past and who you wish to be in the future, and then realizing who you are now, integrating to who you are now. So that could be taking lessons that you've learned of love and romance over the past, and then weaving that together with this present moment, finding more of that inner and personal sense of union. So inner knowing and inner clarity on who you are. And then you have inner journey. So that makes sense. I just said inner clarity and going on this personal inner journey. And then I pulled the card inner journey, which I hadn't seen yet. I thought it was an ascension card, actually. I thought that it was a different card than this. And then you also have love endures, which says love does not give up hope or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So I feel like there is this personal journey. It starts to reevaluating what it is you desire and actually making lists and being clear on how it is you want to receive love and find love and experience it, love and romance. And then you go through this personal journey, right? So you go through this integration of everything you knew now, like up until this point, and coming back to yourself and self-realizing. Again, it's like this snake and weaving an internal union of masculine and feminine. Then past, present, and future, wrapping your mind around who you are in this present moment, and then culminates with a deeper inner journey once you find this sense of togetherness, if that makes sense. And to trust that love endures from that entire process, that you take this whole personal journey with a sense of focus so that it actually brings you into better alignment with someone else. And I also really like the idea that there will be a person in your love, path where they're from your past, in a sense, like that they, it does make sense actually based on what it is I would know here. And so it feels like carrying through ages, like carrying through time. So there's something very positive about that. And I also see music being somehow related. So you might find messages through music personally. You might listen to things and make more sense of even the love that you desire. You might make sense of it from song lyrics as well. What were, any songs that helped you feel like connected to a potential or ideal romance. So let me know if that resonates or if that helps you, or if you have any questions about that. Alexandra, I just need to look somewhere. It's a start. Good place is someplace I can make money doing things I love. I want to work, keep busy, and make money. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you could do that a lot of places then. So is it a good place for you? Yeah, sure. Because as long as you can do those things there, then yes. But if you don't do those things there, then it's not. So really, those two aren't related. And it's a very good question then that this was asked, because really, if you were to move somewhere but not do the things you love, or not make money doing the things you love, which is it's very actually vague as far as communicating with spirit. If you were to make money doing things you love anywhere, then anywhere is a good place to live. And if you were to move to Peely Island, but then not do the things you love for money, then you're saying that you wouldn't be happy. So, like that, it wouldn't be a good place for you. So that really depends on what is the work you love and want to do, and can you make that opportunity happen there, and also, are you going to then see it as a good place? It's kind of backwards. It's kind of funny. And I think that there are many questions before that that need to be asked. That's how I feel about that question as well. So Jay, let me know if that resonated with you. If anyone else has any questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I will head off early, finish sipping my hot drink, and get ready for Soul Circle Oracle in an hour. Da, 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 da. I still didn't know if I could make money there. Well, I would say that probably has to do with you. If you don't know you can be successful somewhere, that has nothing to do with the there and everything to do with the you, because it is about you to you. So perhaps perhaps it feels like a gamble, and that card about the gambling will make sense for that. Did say sweet results await, so I would try to focus more on how it is you're blocking this from being a possibility, and then getting through that block, rather than the risk of yourself getting blocked. Because the risk of yourself getting blocked is there no matter what. That's always the case. But actually looking directly at what it is that you're afraid of might help you to let it go. But you've got to move through it rather than up to it and then back from it. Because it just feels like a chance, no matter what or where you go, that you could not believe in yourself to be successful. And so that risk is much more important, and that healing is much more important than, is this a good place? Jay made a rough list a while back and was noticing almost most of it was being fulfilled from friendship with others. And it was not making sense why I would want someone else. Right. And that makes sense, right? Is that your desires then towards love and romance are already fulfilled by your loving friendships. And so then it makes sense that you're actually not in a romantic partnership, because that is not a need. And so you can be satisfied by that. And if there is a longing for love, then there is something deeper, something more that you would hope for, or that you would receive from that love. Does that make sense? Yes, everything is a chance, Alexandra. Absolutely, everything is a chance. I'm a bad person to ask, perhaps, for making big changes and things feeling risky or not, because I tend to weigh risk very differently. I think it would be a gamble or a risk for me to live in a way that was much more status quo, because the risk would be my own unhappiness. And that's a much more daring and rough chance to take, right? Compared to the risks that I would take in accordance with my heart or my dreams or my desires. These feel like much less risky the more that I take them. So I'm not sure if that helps you. Jay, let me know if there's anything else I'd like to know of, but I think I will head off early today. The weekly collective reading was, I think, really fun and interesting. So definitely go and take a look at that if you haven't seen that piece, if you haven't seen the beginning part of this. There's a lot about root chakra, creative ideas, transmuting our sadness, shifting something into art. and being abundant and being supplied and actually trusting. I don't think I value myself more than making money, actually, to be honest, because if you really strip it down and kind of remove some of the conditioning we have around it, making money or earning money is a reflection of the work that I do and myself and my mission, provides me with what I need. And so right now in my soul purpose, I've only needed what I've received and what I've gotten. And I think many of those things have been big and beautiful things. And some of them are opportunities where money was not involved. But there are some that there were. And I would say that we do find value through that. And that's how we identify value. So I don't think that that's necessarily entirely wrong. But I would just say that money seems to come easier for me and for a lot of heart-centered people. Money seems to come easier when I put it out with excitement and with a sense of personal value, and when my self-esteem is clear of interruptions, rude separate narratives happening. So I would say it's important that you value yourself, but it's not about weighing one more than the other. And one might even be a reflection of the other, if that makes sense. Okay, hopefully this was helpful to you all. It's a bit of a shorter one this week, and I should be back sometime this week, actually, for some extra different videos coming onto the channel. They won't be lives, I don't think. I think I'll probably put them through Zoom recording, or maybe even break out the HD camera finally. Might be able to bring myself up to my own speed of skill. Maybe eventually. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weeks, everyone. And looking forward to seeing you next Sunday. But feel free to watch these other videos and comment on them. I like getting back to comments as well. So if you are here, if you're watching in the replay, I'd love if you could just give this video a like. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everyone.